This is Wan Pot Show with Triple A on Sierra Network Radio.
This na fantasy series, the Wan Pot Show with Triple A. Get at the pande, make we all can pull the Wan Pot na Sierra Network Radio with Triple A.
You're listening to Triple A on Sierra Network Radio.
Sierra Network Radio, all day, every day.
If you're not a regular listener, as you hear this sound, you already know it's a time for bringing a special guest for today. And without wasting any time, now so I want to bring Abdul Fatoma. Welcome to Sierra Network Radio, Abdul M. Fatoma.
Thank you very much for having me, my brother Triple A.
Yeah, we're very sorry for waiting up on last week. We will get a little bit of attack. We now be one major one. But we tell God thank you, we are up and running again, and we get you right on board again. So we're sorry for last week, sir.
Okay, understandable.
Yes, I don't know, because we definitely go get new people that we go join we right now. We go on know. I don't know if we can continue from last week, but let's just take an overview of what will be done they do last week. And now I just want to usher you in, make you just give me an update of what will be happen at salon, where you be go salon.
Well, basically, like how, I be start last week Saturday, say, the 29th of July last year, 2016, we organization win a campaign for human rights and development international, CHRDI. They launched out a position statement from we report findings that say, we discover say within the period of 5 years we'll be doing investigation. Parliament don't receive over 120 billion leones. Will not be go down well with Parliament and the staff of Parliament and parliamentarians. So with that, a lot of rumors when they fly around, say, organization, not put out the right estimates, but then we all see Parliament be failed for come out with a correct figure, for correct, the same way then claim say we not give out a factual, figure on the issue, then they left that back, then attack, we registration. But even to that, the chief administrator with them pulling a city council come and not able to defend, the registration, whether it's fake or, or not in any existence. They only say you can say not to in signature day, and by then, not being present at the city council because a rotation day by the chief administrators there from one council to another councils. People be clearly come for understand that the Sierra Leonean public be understand say that be a gameplay for letting them distract their attention. So fast forward in January this year, even though the rumor been they say if I go Sierra Leone as the head of the organization, I go, then go arrest me. But we believe in the information that what they put out. That we do a good research, we gather information and rightly, and we organization believe in reporting factual information, with a clear backup evidence, to anything we put out there to the public. So January, 31st, I've been there over 98.1. One of the local leading radio stations at Sierra Leone. I've been there on with the Anti-Corruption Commission spokesman. We've been talking about both we parliamentary report and that of other report where we, say the Anti-Corruption Commission at Sierra Leone not transparent in fighting corruption, because if they're transparent, the information and the way we highlight in we position paper say them for don't they inform the people of Sierra Leone. Then too, they're not serious for fight corruption based on the laws and way, they inside the Anti-Corruption Act. and other laws in the country. We cite the examples and one, declaration of assets. So the anti-corruption themselves been there all over radio stations and television for defend the thing where we say, but themselves not able, just like Parliament, not able for convince the public about what we say against them. So immediately after that program, one of the journalists from 98.1 rushed into the studio and meet with Mr. Fatoma, 5 policemen, and they outside, they wait for you. So in Boston, Asma James, the station manager, again for say, joke how that go be. And I said, to God, he said, seriously, police and they outside. And I said, okay, Fatoma, no go outside. Wait for me, let me go talk to them. And I said, no, left them. I made it go meet them. So then I rush ahead of Asma. I go, then I ask. I said, I understand say when they are for me, then the Sergeant Bondo, way attached to Parliament, when I Sierra Leone police, They tell me say, yes. He said, either Mr. Fatoma. I say, yes, me na Abdul M. Fatoma. He said, well, we there for invite you from above, from the parliamentary leadership, say, if you go to Parliament, if you report to Parliament. I say, you get invitation letter? He said, no. He said, and I say, okay, well, me, they go now to Parliament, but I know they go with you now. And I say, okay, no problem. He said, but however, I want you details. So he take down the name, my telephone number, and my address for Freetown. So then, basically, I asked my driver for where we go, straight to Parliament. Then I get for a call of all other meetings that will be scheduled for that very day, and we rush to Parliament. We don't go Parliament. We arrived at 9:05, 5 after 9. So, but my meeting, 9:45, sorry, 9:45, because the police then meet me at 98, where I begin talk with them when I look me timing, because I've been document everything, now 9:05. So I arrived at Parliament by 9:45, So we don't need a Parliament now, 10 to 10, 11, when I say 10 o'clock now my meeting. So 15 after 10, I ask them, I say, now it's 10 o'clock. I said, when we meeting? So then say, well, I'm here at Parliament and I'm the Director of Communication. See, things work procedurally and currently it's sitting the way they go on. Maybe after that sitting and then go see me, but I need for wait since I'm middle can on a Parliament. I need for day within Parliament and make myself available to the parliamentarians because they look for me the other time I escape, how according to them. So then we go straight forward back to 12 o'clock, 11 to 12. 11:30, 11:45. Meeting set for 10 o'clock. Nobody know they come for tell me the status. I go meet the security personnel there. Then tell me, say, well, the clerk not get back to the end, so they don't know anything where they go on. Whether I forgo or I for wait, but I need for wait because Parliament need me now and not for left that place. So around 12 o'clock, I'm the Director of Communication for Parliament. Siri Justice meet a CAM, alongside with the parliamentary securities and also the police will go invite me for they by my side. Then the two security guys and then I'm back. Then other one and they in front of me. So at middle of them, me and the sergeant, we walk through the lobby. Then we go down in the committee room 1. So we meet a jam-packed of almost all the parliamentarians within the House of Parliament, Sierra Leone. These parliamentarians, some begin to, chant, say, with the Senate and go down, with the Senate and go down Pandemba Road, Natif Man, and they grab the right back, but they long down. They go right and kind thing and then be fixed away there and they don't go kaya. Now we don't care, they can't deal with her. So, a lot of things then say to the time that the deputy speaker, therefore intervene into the issue, say, decorum, honorable members of parliament. If any honorable members of parliament do anything like that, it go send her out. There are another member of parliament from the opposition party, SLPP, therefore make another rule chant again. Then the deputy speaker also called the name of that very MP and tell her, say, the next time I do that, go send her out. So that did bring a little bit of, lesser noise. But that still not stop the chaotic scene. So a question began for asked within my name, within if whether we stand by the press release will be published. And I say yes. I say we organization stand, by the press releases that will they put, particularly in this very one. I say we take full responsibility of everyone. So one of the MPs and the panel therefore asked me, when you say we, who are we? I said, we organization. They said, no, they talk about you. I said, no, me. Now, a leader of this organization, then they represent this organization, and the reason maker there, but we organization will take full responsibility. So it come by and say, you continue saying we. I said, we organization, it's not about me. Me I'm an individual, this is not an organization. So then they say, okay, we're in the okay now, we don't get clear since me don't say we organization will take full responsibility, then no further questions. Then the MPs then start back, with the CSU passport, you go sleep in a cell, you go up Panemba Road, a lot of, noise, they behave like a schoolboy, and we really, that'd be a surprising thing for see a full grown-up adults and what they represent, now to statistics, 7 million people, for behave, in that kind of manners, and they were totally not only disrespectful to that honorable house, but disrespectful across the different constituents that we, then they represent. So, we keep going, on with the entire issues. There was a time I tell and say, we organization respect the rule of the house, but we not afraid the house. The clerk therefore advanced to me and say, the next time I make similar statements, I will be a contempt. I say, well, we need for clarify that say, we respect the rule of this house, but we, not afraid this house. So I say, well, me, they make, what he said. So, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament therefore say, Mr. Fatoma, you need for calm down and just answer questions the way they raise to you. Forget about waiting the MPs and they say in the background. So then I get for adhere to the advice. And they say, well, they're not getting nothing for me again, but then go call me on Monday for the 6th, of February. And then the clerk advanced to me, say, let me take pen for write. And I say, no, I'm not to take pen. I'm not to write anything. He said, well, you for right. I said, no, I'm not the right. I said, when I not be giving invitation for Kambia, I can't voluntarily. Now, when I want for someone, I mean for right, I said, I'm not the right. And then the deputy speaker again come in and say, Mr. Fatoma get a point. Let Guna write, and Mr. Clark, you go write a letter and get another letter, serve a letter when Mr. Fatoma go carry. So me surprised, then close the session, we go out. Then the clerk tell me, say, let the security then hold on me, including the police. So then take over 2 hours again for draft a 3-paragraph letter we are still get, They come and tell me, say, we need for go. I said, who said we did go? They say, we don't need for no, let me just follow. And we go. And I said, you they take me to an unknown destination already, or what? I said, or we just go. So already, we don't get the tip off. With the tip off, we don't get the intelligence that the one for determining CHRDI and possibility they sleep they up till the time where they want for see me when at the 6th. So that was from the 31st to the 6th. For them, they are police custody. So don't get me lawyers and alert. Don't inform the organization. England, we partners then. England, US, and Geneva. And we don't alert them that this is going to be the situation. So then we move on. Alert the lawyers and say, let them knock out Parliament, but let them meet me in a CID. So then take media, the Director of Communication and the Deputy Speaker, the clerk, with a police escort. We go then hand me over to the head of CID hand me over to the deputy hand me over to the head of economic crime, cyber security, and anti-fraud. And then instead hand me over to another junior staff there. So interrogation starts, get a lot of disagreement with the questions within the post to me. We will use this opportunity for time's sake, but like interrogation go on and disagreement go on, and we reach to some point and tell them, say, I'm not going to answer any irrelevant questions. Will not relate to this matter. If only to that, I'm going to shut, my questions stop here. So my lawyer then get for talk to me, say, make I just comply with it, and see. We reach to a point then we all agree, say the interview session not end. And then we close it. And then tell me, say, that was around 7:45 in the evening. And then tell me, say, well, now, we don't get order from above, say, you don't get for go. Because first time I asked, I said, since the interview don't know, I can go home. And I said, no, you don't get for go home. We just don't get order from above, so for go home for detain you. And I said, well, I can get another 15 minutes. I say, yes. Then I get for do another updates so with partners, the organization in England, and we move from there. So then, to my surprise in the morning, they meet me, say, you get for come out today because if you get anybody with a baby, you for come out today. And I say, why the change? They say, well, now the decision that they would not reach out, so you for come out today. Okay, then Dave Samba they go visit me and meet this particular thing they go, and I say, okay, we're offer me a book. So whereas my organization members are on the ground, the staff and the volunteers there, been engage other visitors the way come for visit me where the room will go say they need us book. So automatically we will forget up to 8, but we only need 1. So then take 1 us book when I do stand by your own, and then also with me passport. And then say where I can go if they need me, I go come back. But before I go Parliament on Monday when I be the 6th of February, I for pass through CID for report and CID for take me. So I go CID. Funnily, Parliament cancelled it, and I get the rumor on Sunday night that said the city not the right on Monday, because afterward they know say a lot of citizens don't decide say then go storm Parliament on that very Monday. So Parliament recall the whole thing, say they're not they meet with me again on that Monday, but they're not ever write to me officially or call me. They send letter and CID, but they're not send letter to me get a case with them through my organization. So Parliament said me say, well, they don't cancel this thing, you not get for right. And I say, well, I don't get any communication to the effect of the show say they don't cancel. Now the man waiting in charge go bring the letter and show me. And I said, this are my copy. He said, no, not to copy this in a CID. I said, well, since they not give me a copy, waiting next when they detain me again or I allow for go. When you allow for go, I said, but okay, well, I want to go up Parliament before ever I go home or go about my business. I said, okay, well, you allow for go wherever you want for go. So then I go up Parliament. I go talk to the clerk. I say, Mr. Clerk, I say, will I not give me letter? I say, will they, call off this meeting? I said, is CID not give? I said, no. He said, well, the copy will send a CID now for you. I said, but CID say not to me get the copy now. Then get the copy. So later on, CID get for coming say, well, then get misinformation. the letter they not address them to me. They address them to CID. And they not instruct them, say, now me they forgive, then the CID. So then that passed, they apologized. The head of communication apologized for that lapses. Then I remind them, say, that the two things when I don't do me this. One, when I invite me, when not give me any, letters say for camp parliament. Two, now when I don't cancel a meeting where are they part of, then Muna deliberately not copy me, always can do an apology. I say apology accepted, but however, I don't want to let this repeat itself again. And then say, okay. So then push on to another 1 week later back for the thing. Then that 1 week they come, we go parliament with my lawyers and say my lawyers are not allowed for meet with them, only me and there, me, the director of communication, and the clerk. So then I present evidences the way they ask was say, we for backup we claim say, indeed the figures they will give na factual figures. We give the evidences and they, according to them, then we promise the general public say, within 24 hours we will receive any form of information from me and my organization, then go publish, information, or they will duly inform the populace on that issue. But from then to now, we never hear anything from the Sierra Leone House of Parliament. Then we get for 6 me passport for 45 days illegally, unconstitutionally, and unprocedurally, And international community, of course, we get for intervene. The United Nations British High Commission and the U.S. Embassy and European Union, they play a greater role, in that. Then we write a letter telling the IG, say, I want for travel, I want for car and continue my work that you can meet with my family. So the IG we get for, respond to a letter and call me and my lawyer and go hand my passport over and instruct, say, all bail conditions for drop against me and I allow for travel in and out of the country.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul Fatoma, because you don't give me an update on your situation in Sierra Leone. And just like us, we did talk last week, we left make you explain so that people them out there go really know what you go through. In all waiting, you don't say so. Was any part of the social media where they claim say, because now the platform that the way you be they use, was any part of the social media helpful for motivate you for continue for be who that you be? Will be they go through this thing na salon?
Well, this the question good because again the continue opportunity for make we continue for thanks the Sierra Leonean populace and the media institutions organizations like yours and the local radio stations in Sierra Leone and journalists then at Sierra Leone and other foreign journalists there, and having the social media as a very strong citizen platform, for the citizens and disseminate information and receive information. It plays a very great role, in this whole aspect because the update people them they give me because my phone really be jammed with calls from all over, from all sectors of life. People will be close to me, give me a live update that so thing they go on the social media. I mean, they all over social media, free Abdul Fatoma, it's wrong, this way, this. So with all that, I believe they see the pressure, in that. But let me tell you, the media play a greater role. All media, both local and international. Like it reached to a point we're not able to quantify the number of media houses in and out of Sierra Leone because, countries the way like we get direct call from Uganda, South Africa, Kuwait, you talk about Ghana, the United Kingdom, US, Italy, you know. So it goes on. So like we just grateful to the media and social media, you know, for the great role we them play in, you know, that whole saga.
Yes, Miss FBD Salon, I can remember that. We, as I Miss F read the news, and I be get for race go parliament, but that time they will be there inside, and I be see quite a number of reputable people them out of parliament. We get a little talk, and Miss FBD run on one or two appointments, be get for left before this thing all unfold. But you go into parliament, you be ever think say it go lengthen the 45 days where them be all your passport from that particular day we step into the parliament building?
The season of the passport, it was a planned something because before questions start, the first day, MPs and already they talk and say with the CZ passport, with the send you go down. You know, the grace of God and the international pressure and the local pressure and the media engagement, I think, killed the spirit of how really they want to handle me. Because if already you don't plan, say, then for detain me from the 31st to the 6th, then after that, MPs and both say for go Panama Road. If they can both say they can seize my passport, then they end up for seizing passport. So the possibility has been there strongly say them they want me for go Panama Road and just spending 24 hours na CID sofa chair. You know, so anything be possible. Anything absolutely be possible. You know, waiting and do to me, I believe in the least small thing I expect. But anything absolutely be possible. But, you know, God, prayers, and the pressure help to cut down everything.
When you explain to, we still get this word order from above. And you no go ever think say in 2017 we go still get order from above. And before you answer this question, I open the phone line. We get some text that we don't come in. I go soon read them on your next one where they come. But we open the phone line. If you want to be part of this program, you can call the number 001 at the country code, and the number is 646-610-3107. The number again is 646-610-3107. Yes, I come to you again, Abdul Fatoma. Order from above. Why you think say we steal the Yeridi statement inside Sierra Leone?
we as a nation, we get a very long distance for cover for, you know, reaching at the destination of practicing real democracy. The democracy we will practice are the one way we believe in, say, with people then get right for vote and people then for vote for them. But then after that exercise they're done, the other fundamental principle of democracy not ever be recognized, not ever respect, and then they not comply to that. Respect for the rule of law, respect for human rights, respect for transparency and accountability. These elements there, and then are the key elements, you know, where they really should see democracy there at work. Sorry, country, sorry, institution. And we're unfortunate that we system not respect these three fundamental principles. And that give the reason why we still enjoy the sound of orders from above. And this I wish I would tell some senior police personnel in the country. I tell them, say, when I've been done used by few politicians, the power, and few public officials within the powers of corridor. And when a fundamental principle for work as a independent law enforcement agency, it's not visible, there is not in any reality. I said, because even this one I do to me is wrong. When I not walk through the procedure. I said, for example, like Parliament, they themselves surrender their own sovereignty rights within the clamor about and they jump about Parliament, an independent organ of the government, and we regulate ourselves. But then you're selling your sovereignty right to another arm of government, which is the executive arm of government. When I get sergeant at time inside the house, when I'm not asking for invite somebody where we not want, when they write a very strong worded letter to the Sierra Leone police, when I apprehend and make available Mr. Fatoma to the Parliament, for questioning. What are the problems?
We get text that we don't come in. I go begin read some. This one na Mohammed Barry na Insenam. He say for ask you say if you feel say your organization in fights na Sierra Leone you go ever succeed.
Oh, we fight na Sierra Leone. Mr. Barry, I want to tell you say we don't bag his success already. Not that much, little, but we don't bag them. Let me give you this instance. From where Parliament came into Parliament, they know they sit down and inform with people there, detail by detail, as to how many amount of money they received last year for the operational budget, even for let them go for budget hearing, then they boycott them. Then they go for let them discuss about their own budget, then they boycott them. Then they go. It ain't records, ask the journalists the way they cover budget hearing or go through the budget record hearing. But, last year we see, after we released Binokoma, where Parliament gained recess, the former leader, majority leader of the House, Ibrahim Bundu, and subsequently other members of Parliament there, go to different radio stations and they engage the Sierra Leonean public about money and way, then the account. And that they were not sincere with the public. Because they get a foreign account and get a local account. So instead of giving us 3 details of this free account, they only give you 2 details of these 2 accounts. But we accept that as a little step towards with the organization be actual, then therefore be open up and tell the people then what thing they happen at Parliament. Then recently you see say any decision that will go on at Parliament, the parliamentary publicity or public relation wing, they put out a message. Now then WhatsApp group then or Facebook. Early on, whatever happened at Parliament, less than Parliament, whether it's classified or not classified. Then we also see parliamentarians begin to declare their constituency fund to the constituency members there. And they call people there and say, now the money is so, we not decide what to for do with that. Not to 1 MP, not to 2 MP, not to 3 MP, not to 4 MP. We get more than 6, 7 MP, even though out of 114. But then you see some MP there now, very active for they bring out any little development or any meeting where they hold at their constituents now, then they bring it out to the people. These are success. You might not see a total change, but we are moving towards that. And I tell you, say, come the next Parliament, the awareness is more higher. Because now every constituency going to that country, you see say members in there, we don't engage the MPs there about this constituency development funds. And in with history, people not been engaged the local MPs in that platform because they not be aware say money been there for that. all waiting a minute gets see, then men and then women in the telling say, we get money, but now from the salary they take this money for can develop, so government of the money. Now for me own personal money they take for can. Then even to that, you see somebody dish out 10 million euro scholarship and buy this kettle for them people that hold ablution or alwala, the one that when a Muslim where they go pray during fast time, or buy prayer matter. When you look at that, it doesn't even reach 20 million or 30 million. That would be the end of spending that money, say, they don't do community work and return back to freedom. Some will do that, some will do that. Some spend above that, some spend lesser than that. So, but now, we don't see the awareness, don't they? And they themselves talk and say, the way and manner where we put the figure, now, in they're scared of, but then welcome the idea. Majority of them are from the APC, from the SLPP, from the paramount chiefs, because we got three sectors where they our House of Parliament, where they represent we. Now we get, members from the leading opposition party with the SLPP. Then we get members we are from the ruling party, when are the APC. Then we get members when are paramount chiefs they are not politicians. They are representatives of each of the 12 districts there. Now we House of Parliament, for representing company, paramount chiefs then. So when people be one for like trivialize this whole thing to political, hot dog, and it looks sound funny. And to be honest, I still there on the success. I think we are working towards that drive, my brother, but we don't make a huge impact in terms of urging Sierra Leone government and public institutions for comply to transparency and accountability. One clear example, now the Anti-Corruption Commission, after we publish a report, they make sure then gain publication at any institution at Sierra Leone newspaper. The moment we pull that, go check the records. Every school, every college, every they begin to call the NGO sector for whole meeting with them and begin a whole, meeting with people now that they sign pact agreement with some institution, waiting themselves. So this is just some of the things that we believe they are part of success. We don't get that huge junk yet. But the little one there, we for appreciate them and we're happy about the progress.
Okay, and me want come inside small na this area where you talk. Waiting just kind of my mind as you explain. Let we just I just want to take the parliamentary. I know so you don't get a lot of press release them. After we talk this last one on the parliamentarian, I want to can talk about the letter to the president of Sierra Leone. But what me want to ask is this. Yes, you go and unfold all entire way you think about for parliament. Waiting are the best way for curtail this kind of happenings. It's just transparency, or you feel the money not for go directly to them. They should have another subcommittee. What do you feel are the best way we go use for curtail so that even without the transparency, we go see another arm we go be responsible for answer question about them money here.
The thing is that the country, the structure, the executive structure of the country, it gave very big implications when it comes to clean transparency and accountability mechanism. Unless the president, the supreme executive, stop for appoint UAAA or Abdul Fatoma for serve in either of the public institutions, then with that, fear no go day. And other countries like Rwanda and other countries, like the East African countries, they come together and make a decision, say, no executive appointment. The general public, they make a commission comprises of the general public, religious leaders, key stakeholders in, the society. Now that pool then they put out an advert and people then put in the application. Then get for vote for the one that will go become, either head of anti-corruption or head of certain public institutions where they want a total independence for that. But in my country, the president appoints, and definitely these men and women then, they want to remain faithful and loyal to whosoever appoint them. For you to go after a man the way they supply in bloodline, if you like, and therefore be a whole thing. You go and genuinely do it, but people that are around you say, hey, but you get my no entity, you get my no that party and so people the way for touch and they go so. We don't see frustration. People that don't resign in position at that country for touching certain people that are high places. And the case end up dying back. Even though persuasive evidence then, suggestively, persuasive evidence in there. So for really now we get a clean transparency, accountability, success in our country, we get for review we appointment system at the country. That's one of the things that we look at. Then two, not this parliament, we'll hope for another parliament come 2018. And because why I say not this parliament, if you guys cannot accountable for money, how you gonna come ask me down there for be accountable to you when you were for be a brighter example? You are just a precept to me. You want me to recite after you. Then now you're asking me to be accountable. No, I'm not gonna. So that definitely bring embarrassment, to transparency and accountability. So the next parliament where they come in, if they're accountable, their role as a parliament for play an oversight role, to the different, organs of the country, and also even the private sector as well. So with that, if we get a very strong oversight body in the parliament, with a very clean record of transparent and accountable, to the people, and then definitely, if the Anti-Corruption Commission for investigate or indict a particular case, then they fail not to do that. The Parliament Committee can call on the Commissioner and senior directors there, now the Anti-Corruption Commission, and question the reason why, and the need for act now until unless then the Parliament can take an action. Now that can happen in advanced countries there. The US where you there, the House can do that. The UK where currently they talk to you, the House can do that. In France, Berlin, all this happens with the same. They work. Even Moscow will corrupt as well. But at least then they make an effort. Ukraine corrupt as well, but they make an effort. But in William's case, we are corrupt as a nation, in my opinion. Then we don't really do those things. So the appointment is one case in if really we want to. Then when the next parliament comes, we give them good orientation about how to play an oversight role. As they tell you, say, most of the MPs they will know anything about the committees that they belongs to. Nothing to nothing. Now Sierra Leone see toilet roll is ration to MPs. You have to say to the clerk, I want to use the toilet. Then they therefore take toilet roll from the secretary and give, because then say if the toilet roll then they at the toilet, somebody they take her and go with her. When you use the toilet facility, stop not there for wash your hand. And then we be hit with the Ebola and the terrible hygiene. But the house is responsible for looking into the compliance of these things to all the public offices. They themselves don't have this facility existing within their own premise.
Wow, this na this na real insight to the give. Okay, let me just get this text coming. I don't know if you are answering, but hey, the person say the way how they treat you in a salon, waiting you go say as okay. If APC na a communist, how will you assess the APC government in terms of communist rules?
What's I know and what we stand on, then treat me unfairly, unconstitutionally, unprocedurally, unlawfully. And it clear disrespect to the rule of law and human rights. And that's our position we stand on. Whatever thing, somebody think, in your opinion, can call them, that is good. They work within the policies and we work within the laws. So we stand on that. And that don't be a position from day one. We don't publish, we press statement on that. Me personally don't comment on that. Now me Facebook, me WhatsApp, and it's clear. I don't do it over BBC. I don't do it over, different radio stations across the world and inside Sierra Leone that say it was unconstitutional, unlawful, and unprocedural. We stand on that.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe say Mohammed Bayi, you will send the questions them, your questions then they'll be answered. Yes, I want to make we come talk about the letter to the president. Tell me about this letter.
A week ago we write a letter because the letter actually happens to be a follow-up. A follow-up in the sense we will first immediately the government announced the austerity measures. We will respond to that, press release and tell the government they don't breach international human rights obligations. We as a country they get a responsibility. So they not agree for respect the rights of citizens in another country. When they make this austerity measures plan, or then they put them in place. We look at the vulnerable people, them, the old people, them, women, them, picking them. When we talk about picking them, we talk about two sectors. We go, three sectors. We go hit on the picking them seriously. One, education, two, health, and three, the welfare. Then the old people that we think about, the welfare and health as well. So we look to say the government not be really prioritize and put, interest in that area there. And also the disabled people them. So we remind the government of that, but then the government not ever respond to that. They play the as usual game. They pretend that they are blind, but then they see clearly. They pretend they are deaf, but they can hear clearly. And they go on. So we monitor the entire process. Will then be announced that the thing will last for 6 months. First of all, we develop a problem with the government. What? They take 6 good months for plan how they for tackle the recession and how they will come about the austerity measure we then call rationalization. That word every time I call her, I smile because now a corporate term, and even when I use that, I ever comply with the word. I wonder would I catch that phrase or put her in between. So then we monitor this process throughout the 6 months. And that means that the government of Sierra Leone used 12 good months. Now we can call them 13 months. By next month, we will begin a qualifier of 4. 14 good months. 14 good months, the government of Sierra Leone put their austerity measures in place. And after 6 months, they forget back to the public until we say, that's so and so after the 30% cut, 70% cut. But then, if you say you didn't rationalize in corporate words term, it get one thing for us. We look at the bad side of it in the human rights context. If you did downsize any institution, the effect where it get, one, psychological, the physical and psychological effect on the employees, in this case, on the citizens of Sierra Leone. So we now get a psychosocial facility across the country for really look into this aspect of the people. These two things make they hit them. Then two, you for downsize. But we see in the case of Sierra Leone, instead of them downsize, they employ more. Instead of them cut down on production, they spend more on production. Instead of them cut down on expenditures, they spend more than previously, even will not be get the austerity measures. So you come forward, you tell people then say, you want to cut down things so we economy go rebound. And we've been there 20, we'll be further 21, they'll come 20.4 or 20.1% within that. 20% GDP growth before the Ebola 2013 before we hit. So from when we hit, one of the commodity where any country is serious, they not depend on commodities and really as for project and GDP. They forget other productions and at the country. According to the economists, I'm not one. We've been there 4 point something during the Ebola. So then it will become worried situation. IMF, World Bank, they all begin to come together for pump money. Now this economy there, the Sierra Leone economy, Liberia economy, and the Guinea economy, because of we rely highly on the minerals that they take from the country and send them out. So then do that for try for bump up back for come to the 2 digits than the single digits that fall at the bottom rock. So we come as far as with a 10 point something. Remember, we did now 13 good months with a 10.1 or 10.2 still. I think so. But then here is Nigeria. When we beat Nigeria for anything, if we can second to last, Nigeria can last. We they celebrate that, they even see that institution where it's framed with that, and they pull a press release. They say, them beat Nigeria. Because Nigeria can last, they can second to last, or third to last. But here is Nigeria, rebound their economy, they come up from recession, within 10-month plan, 10 good months plan. And now, Nigeria, they talk of, inside this month, the 18th of this month, 45 point something GDP. Now, what is the secret behind this? The Nigerian government spend a lot into infrastructure, and the Nigerian government spend a lot in energy, prioritize in energy. If you go to Sierra Leone now, like the community where I've been there, if I sleep at night today for less than 12 hours, tomorrow, the rest of 24 hours, I'm not going to forget light. That they don't rationalize the economy, but they rationalize the energy supply when in they grow the economy up. Tell me that woman where they funkia, where one for preserve your fish. If a girl like a pay less, where it go charge the meter, it go able pay less, then they go buy ice blocks from far distance, hire taxi for counter, and before they reach, most of this ice don't melt because of the traffic situation in which it is. So a fish don't go able to preserve that much better. And that woman don't make in ginger beer, one for get a very good quality ginger beer. Tomorrow like don't get for the get for go buy ice block. Which profits will that woman they make, and how that economy go able for growth. These are just the smaller sector. What about the bigger sector? Like when people they say, I'm not an advocate for the mobile company, but they are one of the people who are sympathize with greatly in that country. You see them running their polls on 24 hours, independent generator. When not they fear. If we as a nation be clever enough and provide electricity for them people, then the top up prices for calm down, but then the country itself they get that the way they deal with the energy, they get more revenue because them people they consume energy very heavily. So, but are these people really serious when we talk about, economy? When you talk about, roads, when we even look at the construction of roads there, so far the way they construct roads there, you don't get any economic gain to we that luxury gain. And we they try for rebound from the bottom rock of the economy road to a steady growth economy. Why not we look at, if you go Kanike, when are they container then they come up and the portals the way they are around the end and they, where containers and the day, trailers and the day, if you go like Moritown, down Fisheries and then other places there, you go, if somebody go tell you say on side and Moritown don't make this well and good. But look about Usa where the real people then they work. Where they add money to the economy. Go down them waft there and see how deteriorate them places and they do. A serious country, we're serious about building the economy. They don't neglect them point and day. So we look at, say, the government one, they don't respect their economy, their austerity measures, policies. So we remind the president, we call the attention, say, we get evidence and say, they not comply with the things and they fly out and they do this. So, we want to let inform the public about the status of the, austerity measures, whether they succeed or not.
Okay, yes. What me want to draw your attention to is now the conclusion on again. It's to conclude, would like you to seriously consider the fact that austerity measures often lead to retrogression in enjoyment of economy, social and cultural rights. Because cuts to public spending on programs that benefit the poor can impact rights to education, health, food, water, and social security. And I want, in a nutshell, just tell we what una they expect based on this conclusion.
Well, austerity measures in a workable in any country. They expect in the IMF, World Bank, more advanced country like Greece, Iceland, and others. No, even forget about Africa, because Africa, majority of the economy will be in permanent, perpetual recession, economic downturn. Poverty that will be best friend, So, but in real terms, when you talk about, you for do austerity measures, not ever a very good plan, because it always brings down the things that the populace will enjoy, the general public will enjoy. Like, for example, if they cut down a budget for the health center, or then cut down a number of staff at the health center, if you been a go there within 30 minutes, you get access to the medical, personnel, then you get for take 1 or 2 hours. So definitely, it get a very downturn, on the community and the economy. If you go register, for example, for go clear you contain an hour to key, but then if government be not cut down on number of staff an hour to key, when you be reach what to key, you only spend 2 hours. Now you get for spend 3 hours. Then you contain a day, you get for pull and for you can sell out. Then definitely, in a negative downturn on the economy. So in nutshell, that we mean. So we they ask the say, let the government look for all the strong alternatives, a sustainable plan, where they go able for rebound the economy, which of course a lot of sustainable plans and they. For let you know this, the government of Sierra Leone is not serious on rebound the economy, since where the governor of the central bank resigned. In a part of this austerity measures committee in deputy. Now in deputy now they represent and then they run the central bank without the governor. And then if a governor not able to build the confidence of the investors, both the existing ones and those who are hanging on the fence, by giving the growth rate of the country, inflation and all this, we go give confidence to investors. That's not visible, not viable. When they get open engagement, like every 3 months, every 2 months, the central bank call an open meeting, not a secret meeting. Inform, investors in the country and even the citizens in the country about the inflation rate in the country. We never get that as a country. So if you don't really get key interest and do a research, you won't know what's in the inflation rate in that country. You ask so many business people now that country say, what are this really inflation rate? I don't know. Because why? They don't get the right information from the people who are responsible. And organizations always they ask for this. Public institutions get the obligation for inform the public about anything we're not to classify information, but inform the public, the general public, of the information there. Because one of the God-given rights, of the citizens there, and one of the basic fundamental rights of the citizens there. Hello?
Yeah, we don't get them back, definitely. Yes, sir. One of we usual contributors them. Waiting you want for bring come to Abdul Fatoma?
First I go on for commend them for waiting they do. This is a brave thing they do and very commendable. For most of who within the diaspora, we respect within Fatoma they do. My hope is that the Sierra Leone community, both overseas and at home, go get an open mind for them this wonderful opportunity for make them see them for waiting it really is. Not for waiting in a type of project and for be. It can be somebody else in position where they do this. This is not about personal vendetta or whatnot, but I just want to give props. I want to give office props. And in fact, the last time we talked to her at this program before this current, this was sometime last year, it was. And I tell him, I say, it make publicity of in site and in contact numbers because we get people in overseas, we get interest in these areas. We want to get the accountability process going because you know what? At the end of the day, we country, wealthy as it is, we people them wealthy as they are, both educationally and socially and mentally. But if the institutions are not in place for make them go actively participate. Okay, interruption.
No,
but
carry on. Carry on.
If we not get the institutions in place for make them encourage this kind platform for foster and enforce the accountability process there for we and we people them. It could be we go at the end of the we get for just become a laughing stock because imagine if waiting they happen in a salon, we jump. The people in the West and look at we. For instance, look where the current president of our country now that they state the gap they oppose African leaders and say, it's an African leader, you don't know anything except for, just mismanage and country them in the economies. How about that? Once again, I just want to commend them and tell them to make it push on. We deal with them. Me in particular, I deal with them. Make it push on.
Thank you very much, Yusuf, because we lost Abdul Fatoma, but I believe he go get the message. Yeah, we definitely lost Anjis now, but we go get the message definitely. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, land that we love, our Sierra Leone. Yes, we don't get we two party them back again, right on the air. Yes, Abdul Fatoma, you did it?
Yes, please.
Yes, Yusuf from Atlanta. You can just go over just a quick one. Wait till you be say just now, sir.
Absolutely. And welcome, Mr. Fatoma.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Yeah, just as I've been mentioned earlier, I guess we unfortunately lost you. But during the course of that sentiment they are expressed that, I just want to give you props. I just want to give props and commend you for what you need to do. And the main reason here is we get this office. It can be somebody else. There's not to any personal stuff. All that emphasizes the accountability again for them in place. And the reason is, if, as you mentioned, checks and balances, if they're absent, waiting investors then get for look at if they want to put in 1 million, 2, 3, 100 million a country. If we not get things in place for make sure then major groundworks then the day in place, we're not going to get the investment for Canada one. 2, the corruption, it could just be off the chain. But here, I just go try to pick up on some of the things I said earlier because it just come up straight from my heart. I'm not thinking through, it comes straight. Because here, I say, keep doing what you're doing. We, now the West, we all know within the institutions here. We know say if some of we want to get for involved in any case, as we don't get conditioned, we think we don't get conditioned to the West. If we go back home, some of we would be strained because, if you don't use 14 up in a line and go get things done in 5 minutes, you go back in a salon, it go take you 1-2 days forget. Just the car came to get some kind of experience attending there. But fact is, for the government side, me personally, I hate to do this, but we always say that they push objectivity in this project, at this program. But I did go off the limb here because me a neutral person, when the truth comes, can say, me I support this cause that the accountability process get for the top notch. Keep for the do what you need to do. It's not too personal stuff. And again, at the same, the office, not the office. The responsibility and the responsibility. You just happen for that this opportune time for get this done. It can be somebody else. Make nobody not deter you or deter your office for do what you need to do. This is a noble process you to do. Now, like you go equate them to waiting somebody will gap and take arms in the cause of the country for good defend the nation. What you need to do, I know they equate them to arms, but accountability, they get for the checks and balances get for the. So thank you for what you need to do and continue for doing.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yes, that's Nabi, we contributor. Now, before I let you go, Fatoma, I no go talk because myself get an experience na Salome you meet and I want to make we talk small about the attitude of the common man na salon. Where to me on findings it's like I don't know if because of the way the system is built, but everybody they try for make an extra from another person. We ask for see truthfulness. Everybody they try for gain from person. If you come out overseas, you don't become a target for make somebody feel say if or extort money from you. What do you feel about the attitude of Sierra Leoneans?
Some people can say, Fatoma, this way you can say no fear. But the economic hardship don't bring disrespect across the families and the country and the different households. Somebody will be left first in Africa where you be known for a honest character. If you return back in Africa, you say in a very dishonest character. The problem being that fearing that in target for the day or for the week, you're not able for me to have it. So the small little thing where you know they expect, now from there the dishonest the stuff will apply. So as you can say, dishonesty, poverty don't become a very close relative of the people that are the country. But not only the one that with the Sierra Leone dishonest. We got so many Sierra Leoneans within the diaspora who are dishonest. So one way I look at the poverty, aspect of it, and I look at the other way that we don't accept dishonesty as a way of living now in that country. You know, if you give somebody, say, go buy lunch or meat for me, for example, with 12,000, I go can't tell you say 12,500 or 13,000. Ordinary water, some side they sell on 4,000, 4,500. Some side they sell on 3,000. Maybe the very community where they live, that's 3,000. But somebody where they're at the household, they, you know, you tell them, say, go buy water for me. You get 5,000. They count 500 and change or 1,000.
And you know they give you the change back. And the change.
There's not a 4. Yeah, there's not a 450. Then if you give some other heavy money, the change set for like, you know, the assurance not there. You're not guaranteed. So majority, not every Sierra Leonean, majority now live in that. But let me tell you, there are still few good Sierra Leoneans that were honest across your families there, or across places there. But then you cannot say the Christians are honest, the Muslims are honest. No, don't say that. Because you get somebody when an imam with a whole lot. You get somebody when a pastor with a whole lot. You know, so, but we always still get some good citizens there when we come across. In as much as I come across some bad one there, I also have, you know, happen to come across some good one that were very, very honest. We don't want a damn cent if they help you in anything. You get something, if they help you, you have to pay. And then take this thing that the public decks them. There are public officials then. Therefore, deliver them public service there to you, free of cost. And then job, then they pay them for months at the end of that. But then they say, if you not give that day, I don't think say you are in that document the quicker. So sometimes, like, we don't like to announce our name. We have to first. Like, I go to 2 places that they need some information. Like, at this salon, my passport with them, the whole, and nearly we don't get to expire. So when it expired, I said, well, why not I renew this thing before I return back? You know. So that was the laugh. I said, the police there, for say they won't really expire passport. So they do expire passport. So then I go to immigration. I said, I want emergency passport. Hey, salon passport you are. So now they make all that foreign passport now, yeah? No, because salon passport hard to forget nowadays. A difficult process in passport now. I said, how many other national passport now they make now, yeah? He said, no, salon passport. He said, but it hard to forget. I said, I want emergency. How much for emergency? Well, emergency, if you want to run it now, I had 3 weeks the more. I said, but emergency for be 1 day or 2 days. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Even the one that they go 1 million, something, you know, and all it is. I said, how much for this thing? Really? Well, not the actual price anymore. I said, how much for this thing? He said, well, but it's not they ask how much for this thing. They abandon me. They go away. I advance to the other side. I meet one of the seniors. I said, well, I need an emergency passport. Huh? And I think they go get some more than if you raise there for get small in her hand. I said, okay, that's not bad. So luckily, one of the other senior staff, they read newspapers, they watch television. That's salon people, the majority of people there. And they read news, and they watch television. Even the television, they will play movie there, and the other thing were not productive. They don't want to hear about nothing, you know. Then this guy came in, this man came in, Ejebo man, they said, oh, Chief Fatoma. He said, what's he come here? Now we there next on the press release? I said, no, I want to renew my passport. That was the time the guy who had been the engagement, they give me this free talk for relax a bit and say, now you want parliament and anti-corruption, now if you get issue with I said, are they here for passport? I'm not there for that case. But this man continued to ask, Chief Fatoma, what do you want? You know, I said, well, I need emergency passport. He said, but when I work out for this man, bro, let you get yourself. This, you know, now then the fight for win at this country. And then this guy was a look 210 and with himself. So okay, well, you know, we'll go down. That was the time he showed me the official price. And the passport was processed within 24 hours. And then other people they come meet me say, bruh, we been on there, and the 1 week this and they go up and you can't today no more. I say, not to me responsibility that, not to have the work. But when you can't, they can't take you stop. I said, not to me responsibility that. The other thing I find very strange, the Lebanese men, no matter how they get the contract, the way a man where they collect the money in that place, it's totally unprocedural. And that bleeds corruption. I'm telling you this, and whether immigration officers and the listen, let them ready for me back. Immigration highly corrupt. In my opinion, immigration officials there, then they collect money from people there, and even make bluff by them say, you go work here several days and come back. Anybody challenge me, let go immigration, not serve even as undercover. Just go like any Sierra Leone, at the collection room, down ground floor. Or the customer service. Stand up there and listen to the ladies and way they on that floor. Just down there, don't go up it. If you go up, you go see more trouble. Just down there. So the dishonest way they talk about is spread, now a cancer, now every sector, my brother. So now disappointment, attitude change come, enable for change, and a more system was because they don't serve the ABC. Their attitude even bad.
Okay, we get another caller. Let me bring them in. I know so we'll try for wrap up, but we'll get another caller. Yes, caller, your name, sir, and who side you call from?
Me, that's Tennessee Brahma, the call from Paris.
Okay, usual contributor. Yes, Tennessee Brahma, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I offer to my brother plenty, Mr. Fatoma, for faith for the people of Sierra Leone. And I want to tell and say, he really succeeds. And God will make a continue for succeed. And people will see him. Mr. Fatoma, you don't try with God by your side. They don't humiliate you. I just want to make it because it's a part of your job. And I want to commend you for one thing, that you able to put Parliament on their toes. I remember when that release they begin to come out, that accountability, Parliament for account. The following morning, I think I read Bible on 98.1. The other day, I hear the spokesman of Parliament, I hear AYD. They begin all about. Say then go to council for know how you register all this. So, they really put them on their toes. They not the members, they get that particular Sierra Leonean where go able to ask Parliament, because they take the Parliament as like a very big society that anybody don't be. For even nobody not for even ask any question concerning the country. But Mr. Fatoma, one thing I want to tell you now that you don't make Parliament either open small, then we will see it today. Just open the eyes small to the public. All man begin be like just a quick talk. All man begin go say they give money on that. This will do like one commander fellow. Instead they do some services. I'll see all over radio they talk. I don't want to blame the parliamentarians and we young people there. I want to make we blame because now they choose the wrong people there for going to Parliament. When the time reaches, they need to look for this person. Hey, this person for choose and you can't fight for me. What you go do for me? The illiteracy is too plenty in that country. People they choose parliamentarians by party line. As long as this is not a stronghold, anybody let them get any kind of person, they don't go. And most of the parliamentarians they will be in another parliament. I want to tell you, say most of them they don't be abroad. Most of them they don't live abroad. Now a very big disappointment for a country. Forget a House of Parliament. Where they misbehave that kind of way, they just eat money. They don't want to know all the institutions the way they call so. Now they approve all the board of directors. Then this that now they approve them. As long as you don't give them what they will give you, they're ready for approve you. All the approvals the way this particular government don't care for people they for approve. Will not qualify. Then they as long as now on this of particular which they go, they get majority. They go no more. Allah. then they appoint them. You get some sectors the way, just like we be careful of the oversight, the parliamentary oversight committee. They are the worst. They are the worst people there because they never even check for anything. As long as they don't go, they say they get anything. They don't go, they get the party and everything is okay. Anything go, they read now one thing I want to whatever project they can go. Now the oversight committee they go, they call what the director don't go, don't make us say when I did. They even read the terms and conditions of the project. They even read waiting at it. They just say approval. Once you don't give them, it's okay. So that's the main thing with the Ambogu in our country. We not get the right parliamentarians in our parliament. We just get opportunities them. We put it for let them get what we don't get before. They need to think about the masses. In fact, you get some parliamentarians, say Fatoma, they tell you, if you elect them, they elect them now in Eastern. As they don't win, what they do is transfer from Eastern and then Canada Western. And then they do in the constituency, and they ever could be. Talk less of people know what's in the coming. All what they do, when I go meet council. So this is the problem we get. So the next step I want to take, now we come into elections. I want you and your organization, when I begin to take up this thing that go to the layman, go to that man with the door and that tell them who that exactly if I look for go represent them in the parliament. Because if we not begin to do this sensation, talk to other people, take responsible civil society because you know, see, all the civil society organizations, they really don't. Now you make them go that in a parliament, all goes in support of you because they waiting at the ground. We get all the manpower at the ground. They don't ever take this opportunity. They don't ever take this venture to ask parliament. See, parliament on accountable to the people. On a tell which are on a person here. They don't ever ask that question. You start this program. Now, only when they will do the can in support of you, they can be given why we have for Fatoma. Then and you appreciate them for that because the day we leave the parliament, they all move and go. We the follower just the people they say now the social media, see them follow all and go. We commend them for that. But I believe they're waiting at the ground surface for them to begin handle some of their issues here. Because if you don't say we don't file pressure, definitely the parliament not together mind for go begin to go hold documents they go for good thing in a police. It's not possible. But because that civil society they already say they follow the line. So now the same thing. So the sensitization now what you take now, please now for begin sensitize with people in at the ground. Well, that exactly. They will not begin to choose by party lines. Because not only will get sober parliament, in that country they go better, but I will not get sober parliament, will not ever get sober directors and ministers, all those things. Because if we get sober parliament, if they can go for the minister, they say, no, this we need to take up. This because they will not should come. This one not even know this ministry will be cover. You know, if we get any idea, we don't go let's choose another person. Until we get that kind of houses indeed. Now we take up for example, what shall we do now? We see exactly like what the examples the way we decide. It's not going to take any, president will get those choose any type of you can go say for approval. Look at us, like Donald Trump, where the elector. Some of the people they go, they reject them. So they go others of scrutiny. So if the man they know exactly which is the cap for now this ministry, the whole of them. But if you just choose one and one say this, they be the support you, they be the contribution monthly subscription, come to be deputy minister of lands. What if you say that man they could do? If they go sell all the lands there, no one knows whether that's state plan or not. Because you don't know what you don't even know what they go for. Say you can't go be deputy minister of transport. The man don't know what all this is under. You don't get nothing for this. You get one minister, you get one directors and don't correct places there. So these are some of the problems in this. Fatoma, I want to continue. Let God continue for bless you. Let God continue for OPV. Let God continue for give you strength for do what you do so. And you succeed. For me, you succeed. And I hope that you not go relent. Continue for ask the president. Let give you the results of this austerity. Because in a match don't pass to me, they will say match. We'll not get no information. We don't know whether the austerity is not over, austerity or it's not minus or it's not plus. So continue for ask them. Let them give you updates. Because we're concerned. If the country better today, some of you now, we will say, alhamdulillah, because what you will take to the send, sometimes we will reduce and small. You see, if that country will continue for suffer, now what they suffer now, will they be there for nothing? Because all what we do, the people will send them. So that's no more for say. The next election will come next year. We are going to continue to sensitize people that let them get the correct people in the parliament. Let people left for vote on party line. And let some party left for give the wrong people and say this person ain't help this that. That makes some man they contribute to the last penny because you know so when party win, they hope forget ministerial position. So let people we choose the correct people that for go represent in the parliament. That's when they will get straightforward things that are going on. So that's the contribution. Thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the opportunity for liable comment with brother Fatoma. Thank you very much, Fatoma.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yes, Fatoma, you get anything for say towards that? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Oh yes. First of all, welcome the appreciation and the recognition about the work organization they do, and it really very brilliant things, and just like the previous caller himself is a very brilliant and important thing. If I can recall this, that there are three people there: Rashid, the brother from France, the other one Yusuf. You know, they can always contribute greatly to this program whenever they're on. And this last one talk about a very key important thing. If in a keenly follow organization, before I left Sierra Leone last month, we publish, we position the come very soon. We will launch with electoral accountability and what in that they about. Therefore, inform the people them about the right to participate into electioneering process. We're not only voting process. Therefore, get a platform outside and they ask them people they are we want for lead them at the different positions and where they want for head in the country. And then you know, the other side way is the people that they choose. Yes, these are people. But me want to tell me, brother, say we get a reckless political parties in our country where they behave irresponsibly by going about getting, you know, and people that were not fit for purpose for representing different constituencies, you know, including all constituents, you know, so now what two organizations do towards that, and first in the history, where you go for see political parties that go for the heavy scrutiny. We don't inform some officials of parliament on the position, say, where accountability, with electoral accountability campaign, not only for the National Electoral Commission, but we will work with the National Electoral Commission for later ensure the transparency they part of the entire process and the need for the inform the people there about every stage of the electioneering process. The security sector, the ONS and the police, therefore also update the people that not on classify information about national security, but classify information about, a public information about assuring and guaranteeing the people of their security during and after election. We also look at the PPRC. That's the PPRC for ensure political parties that will register for participate in the elections will be treated equally and fairly, and for monitor and enforce political parties that will register with them comply with the PPRC Act. No matter how big you are, how influential your party is, if you fall short of the law, the punishment will stay inside the law or the PPRC Act. PPRC not for hesitate for put such discipline in place against any party we found wanting of the law. So we get to make sure that all of these institutions will be responsible towards the electioneering process, and the very political parties will put them under very huge pressure. One, we get to look at the economy of these political parties. Who said they put their money there? Who do they fund there? Because we get law how political parties then for get funding in the country. Who do they fund there? We want to know. Then how strongly they are, for continue holding whatever party can in power if they're in opposition. Because we get a very dirty habit naturally when it comes to politics. You see a lot of political parties and come forward and receive some money where, international organizations then go give for smaller parties and building their capacity. Immediately that money they comes in, they eat and on, election done, then they disappear. Then the office space then disappear. Then party delegate then disappear, the party executive structure, everything died down as election finish. And time for election, we begin to see 3 years old party and 4 years old. Like recently, somebody they tell me say the newest political party, they're not able for serving, observers then, but for the registration, by elections then. And it's not really fair to the people that where they convince, well, let them vote for them, where themselves lack the structure at party level. So if you not get a structure for handle your own party leadership, why you think that the country for entrust a whole nation of 7 million people now your political party in hand? So two, those are the basis of people that no educate. Yes, when people, the majority of them don't get the formal education, but the informal knowledge we then get and common sense we then get, they're able to make a sound judgment. But the third sector or the fourth sector, the media and the civil society, for the far too long, as how the politicians they don't fail that country, they don't woefully they don't fail the people. This is the fact. I belong to one of these sectors, one of the civil society. They don't fail the country. Because you see civil society not able to take up issues where they are of public interest. The fact that the money not on the other side, they're not going to do it. You see civil society, they do other things differently than civil society. So the thing that if we get these forces and these two sectors, civil society and the media, if they work very hard objectively, approach the public interest, issues dealing with the public, on social economic issues, employment, health, and other issues, education. Trust me, no matter the government was saying a headless minister, na any ministry, the fact that a very first day behind it, they're going to serious. And the next time we president they pick anybody for a point, they go look for a competent people. If we look at a country that we don't practice the democracy, then parliament and they comply, even among the African countries, look at their civil society, look at their media. They play a greater role in that achievement. So when we left these guys at their masses, they do what they want to do. They do it at their own will. If today, like my brother Bine said, these people been over, they radio, they talk, they explain themselves. If we not be hit on that, who cares about? Which parliamentarian will care really for tell we about how much then they receive, for consistency development funds or other development projects? They don't care to tell us about those things. Even when they build toilets in a corner, they don't inform we. We don't care. They don't care to tell us. So the thing about now we your responsibility as a citizen. The one that we choose for work now, or then at the civil society or the media, then they have greater role for continuing for squeeze these people, the politicians.
Thank you very much, Abdul Fatoma. So, waiting now the way forward for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International.
Oh, so many. We get so many plans. One, with the launch, the electoral accountability. Then two, if all goes well, we ahead of the elections, we look at the cyber security space. Because now habitual something for African governments or Asian government, the time for election and they shut down internet. and we don't succeed in blocking the the government of Sierra Leone first approach with them one for take for intimidate people and alert and say we'll go for the monitor regulate. We come out clearly with a press statement and condemn them, say it's illegal, it's unlawful, and it's unprocedural. So then we therefore go back to the drawing board because we say a ministry not get no right to pass a law, and the parliament ain't get their responsibility there. A mere ministry, a minister cannot just wake up whether he brush him out or not and go tell we say, we go for cut on the usage of social media. We are not in those dark ages anymore, we try for advance. So put a block to that with the work with partners and ahead of elections, we engage with United Nations and we partners there and see what best we get for offer the country citizens, for inform them more about cybersecurity and so many other work ranging from accountability and human rights. Where now we huge focus there.
All right, thank you very much for your time. So, waiting will be your last word to fumble them.
So, waiting will be your last word for this program.
Yes, for this program, definitely. Because we know say we will always get you.
For their and say, well, even though not God may get that command, For this program, I want to say thank you to the one that we listen. One they will contribute, and the one that we still get hope in civilian, the one that will not get hope, and for assurance and let them get hope. If South Africa can both say there's still hope and light at the end of the tunnel at Sierra Leone with people like Abdul Fatoma, they hold in parliament accountable, even though say they face death threat or other threat. If a foreigner can get hope in why not we get a hope, for we own country. Now we work as brothers and sisters, and now we work sincerely with we own conscience and fear God for fear man, and talk the right thing at the right place, regardless of who they associate with, whether it's political ideology, political base, and in the best interest of the country, Lord, put the country first. Like I can say, I don't mind dying today, tomorrow for Sierra Leone, for the fact that it's not the right thing I die for. For me, if other people think it's not the wrong thing, I don't care because, some people don't like me because I'm a whistleblower, and a whistleblower not a lovable person. If I get loved by the general public, these are people who love the country or people who sympathize with me, in the work where they do. But I'm not a loving person when it comes to that, not in the physical thing, but based on the work where they do. And I know they crave for love, I know they crave for recognition when it comes to this, in anything. We are doing it because it is our responsibility to do the work.
Thank you very much, Abdul Fatoma, and definitely they get you, where you go, they can give you updates. Thank you for your time, sir. And the next song I did dedicate to you. Chris for you, Superstar and Negadon.
Oh yeah. That will be one of the console music then as really it'll be really good. It worked me throughout. Like some evening I listen to her. I'm only inside the car for meetings. Why is my passport been there on seas? So I get, I'm a great passion for that music. Yeah. Thank you so much for
You're
that.
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.